Okay, let's try this again. Hello everyone. Welcome to my snare tuning video. I don't freaking know. So I'm gonna try and tune this snare. I've gotten a lot of questions about snares, and people really like my snare sounds in videos. Thank you. So figured I'd show you. I don't feel like I do anything special. I just try and tune for the song. But to do this one, I'm using, this is a Pearl Steel. It literally just says steel, I'm pretty sure on it. I think they were student models, but what I liked about them was they were 10 lug. I at the time thought that your snare had to be 10 lugs and that meant it was good, so I thought these were good. You can get them for like 40 bucks. I think I got this one for 40 at Guitar Center. These heads are very old. Pretty sure I've had these on here for over 2 years now. I got a control sound coated on top and then it's still the stock Pearl bottom that I clearly didn't buy because it came with the drum. I got some fat wires too. I don't really know where those came from. Yeah, I figured so many tuning videos show it with really good high-end snares, and I have a couple of those in my closet over here, but those are honestly easier to get good sounds out of, so I was like, let's do something realistic. Here we go. So, I got my mallet. This is a American Custom T1. I use it just to pitch match. I don't usually use the tune bot unless I'm getting really nitpicky about my toms. I don't usually use it on snares. But I just pitch match with my ears because everyone else is using their ears to listen to the song. Like, why shouldn't I use mine? First thing I'm gonna do is loosen the heads on both sides. I needed a key. I forgot my drum key. First thing I'm gonna do, loosen these all the way. I do a star pattern where I go across and then I skip 2 in a clockwise format, and then I loosen that, go across, skip 2 and clockwise, loosen, across, skip 2. I just do that until I get back to whichever one I started with. I usually keep my hand on the one I started with because I forget. Yeah, bottom that completely out. I'm not gonna take it all the way off. I don't need to do that. I just want to get it to the point that they all jingle. Cool. Bottom. Loosen, same thing. Skip 2. There we go. Almost messed up just now. This one. So I think I'm gonna go for a like mid-rangey kind of sound. Not too high, but not super loose either. I'm not trying to get a dead sound right now. All right, I think that's all of them. Yeah, cool. All right, got them all completely loosened. Put my key down. What I do first is I finger tighten all the lugs on both sides. When I say finger tight, that just literally means I'm twisting with my fingers on the tops of the lugs until they're as tight as I can get them. I don't go in any kind of pattern with this one. I just do a cross because I have 2 hands, and so it makes sense. The only thing to remember though, just because you finish tightening all of your lugs, you push down the rim, meaning that another lug that you started with, like these ones, are probably loose again. And so I tighten until I literally can't tighten any of them anymore. And sometimes it can hurt, I'm not gonna lie. And these lugs feel pretty good, but if they were kind of like grinding, I would hit them with some of this white lithium grease. That's an R. David R. video I saw many years ago, and I went and picked this stuff up. I've had this bottle for like 4 years now. They last a while. There was a hole in it, and so I just put some gaff tape over it. Okay, this side's finger tight. Done with that. Flip it over, do the same thing. Oh, wait, I have this sitting on a drum throw. I forgot, so I can swivel it and not have to turn around. Alright, I think starting to hit a point where they can't go down any further. Oh yeah, I just realized I didn't talk about why one of my rims is black and one is silver. So the silver one on the bottom is the original one. This black one is a black S hoop that I got from Sweetwater. I thought it was silver when I ordered it, and then it got here and it was black, and I was just too lazy to send it back, so I just put it on here, and it's really ugly and I hate it, but I don't have another rim to put on here, so it's just stuck now. So now everything is finger tight. I'm gonna start on the bottom head, I think, this time. Thing is, I don't have an exact method on some of this stuff. it's just kind of became trial and error over the past 6 years, about 6 years of tuning drums a lot, and then started doing the videos and all that stuff and trying to replicate the feel of albums that I like and songs that I like, and just learning how things work. So I don't really know all the like head relationships of sound waves and whatnot. You'll have to go to a different channel for that type of stuff, but I can make a drum sound like a drum. Alright, so on the bottom head, I put the key on, and I honestly just measure the turns from this point until I can try and pitch match as best I can. But I go a whole turn, so twist and twist, on the bottom head, and then half a turn, so only one go on the top head. I do almost half of what I do on the top head as much as I do on the bottom. So if I do 2 turns on here, I'll go 1 on the top head. Or if I want to tune a snare lower, I'll bring down the top head a lot more than I will bring down the bottom, but I actually do touch the bottom head afterwards. I used to be a get it tabletop tight type of person, and I just never understood why my snares didn't have body to them when I would change the tuning on the fly. And something that I started doing was, okay, if my toms sounded choked and no body, what would I fix? I would probably lower the reso head. And so I started doing that. And honestly, only in the past maybe 6 months of doing that, I feel like my snare sounds have gotten much more versatile. I've gotten fat sounds, I've gotten tighter sounds, I've gotten ones where the snare's ringing for a while. It's been nice. All right, so this is full turn. I'm gonna do a half a turn on the other end. Alright, half a turn. I am going to not touch the top head yet. I like to push in the middle, see how much give I'm getting, because that also dictates to me how it's going to feel to hit. I'm going to go back to the bottom head. I'm going to grab a drumstick. Hang on. There. Grab a drumstick and slide that on under these. So I slid that under so that I can hear the other head, the bottom head, by itself. Get my mallet, and I don't use a tune bot or anything like that. I just go lug to lug, and if something sounds really wrong, I'll tighten it or loosen it to whatever direction it goes. If I go down, if I have to loosen something, I go further and then back up. I know it from playing guitar, like that's how you would tune a guitar string. If you're too high, you go back off, and then you always want to tune up to a note, not down to it. I don't really know why that works, but it seems to. It always holds its tuning a little better. I don't know if someone knows, you can comment why that works, but yeah. So I always try to tune up to something. I just get them roughly the same. They don't need to be exact. My snares are still rattling. These two sound low. And sometimes you can just feel that something is low too while you're twisting it. Missing. This one still sounds a little low. I already tightened this lug that sounds a little low to me, so I'm going to actually try and twist up the opposite one, because sometimes that actually will bring the pitch up more. So if I tighten something and I feel like it's already going to be too tight compared to everything else, I'll tighten the one across just a little bit. So I turn that maybe like an eighth. That's already a little better. I honestly think that's good. I'm pushing the center to see how much give I get. I think that's good. It's not table type at all, but it is tighter. For that medium tone, I do want it a little bit on the tighter side. So I'm not trying to get a beefy medium tone. I'm just trying to get a nice middle ground to where I can go up or down, depending on what I need. Now I'm going to hit every lug, see what pitch I'm at. Depending on your drum, it might not even make a tone at this point. You might need to tighten it a little bit more, or it might make a very high tone and you might need to loosen it. One of my snares, it literally only takes a quarter of a turn from finger tight to get tone. I think that's the Anderson Paak one. Yes, Lord. So yeah, knock around and see what I hear on this one. I haven't tuned this snare in a very long time, so we'll see how this old head sounds. Like I said, I always try to do the across when something sounds high as well, or low as well. Also, don't be afraid if the high ones are the outliers. Just bring them down to the others and see how that helps as well. Because I have two right here that are much higher than everything else. Yeah, those two are just super high, so I'm gonna back it off and then tune it back up just a little bit. Back it off, tune it up just a little bit. One piece of advice as well, don't be afraid to hit and turn while you're hitting. Alexa's telling me stuff. Don't be afraid to hit it and turn at the same time, because you'll hear the pitch go up or down depending on what you're doing. And I'm not striving for perfection. I'm just trying to get them in the same ballpark. So now these are just a little too high. Works for me. So now I'm going to take a stick, see how this sounds. I don't know how the camera's gonna pick this up, so I apologize now, honestly. Yep, sounds like turd. Let me tighten these snares a little bit. Let's see. That's not bad. I'm gonna tighten these snares. I play with my snare tension a lot at the gig, because I've learned tightening my snares just past where it sounds good almost brings the pitch up a little bit and makes it sound like a tighter snare. So if I'm playing something like Santeria, I'll tighten my snares a little bit without having to tune my drum, and all of a sudden it sounds higher and tighter. Or if I'm playing like Tennessee Whiskey, I'll back off the snares more to give it more length in the note. It gives the illusion of a drop in pitch. That's not bad. That's how I tune these things. From there, I pretty much deal with muffling at this point. There's a couple different ways that I like to muffle. I got some of my favorites here in a minute. I'll show you. So, Steve's Donut, big fat snare drum. I think this is one of the best things they made, better than the solid one. There's just something about it. With this S hoop, I have to like tuck it into it, so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, if you need a tighter sound, or you're playing a mellower gig where you can't let the drums be super loud and ringing, this thing is a lifesaver. See, super low now. Another thing that I use in my videos a lot is this big fat snare drum. I got one of the magnet things they have for it, but pretty much just like a bandana fabric. This one's much thinner than the red ones I have on these on the toms. But yeah, the magnet just attaches to the rim if it's metal, and then it just goes from this sound to, yeah. So that's how I get like my Wolfpack old vintagey stuff. I use one of these. You stay there. Yeah. I'll use tape as well sometimes. I don't really like gels that much. They just get really messy to me. And I always lose them, and they're expensive to lose, and so I feel dumb when I lose them. E-rings are great as well. I have a designated wallet on my wall over here that I use for stuff as well. Pretty much just muffle to whatever you need. If you have any more questions, leave them below in the comments. I believe that's all I got. So I want to put this thing on the kit and start hitting it. Let's see how this thing sounds. I haven't played it in so long. Let's do this. Okay, we've got the snare swapped out, put my headphones on, start up Logic and see how this thing sounds. A lot of ring for me. I'm gonna tighten these snares. Not bad. We'll try the internal muffler first, see how that sounds. That's beautiful. That I'm gonna loosen this up. Sounds like we can breathe. There we go. Nice. So like I said, if I want to get fatter tone, I'm gonna use the donut here. So let's see how this sounds. That's pretty nice. This thing. Okay. Okay. Go up. Let's make this bad boy tight. So from here, when I start tuning for preference, I just based it off of amount of turns, honestly. I still do the star method where I skip 2, or whatever method that's called. But yeah, I'm just measuring, I'm going everything half a turn right now. That's without touching the bottom head. It's still at like a high medium tight. Let's go low. I'll do a whole turn off. See how that sounds. Some of these lugs I can tell they completely bottom out when I go a whole turn though, so I'm turning them just enough that they don't completely detach, because you don't want any rattling. I lost count. Cool. So here, like, the snares are too tight right now. I want to loosen it to the point where it can breathe still. Nice. I'm going to take off the internal muffler, and I'm actually going to use the big fat snare and see where I get with that. What if I do this? Can I try this? I always love saying, like, the best thing you can do in music is to ask, what if I blank? Because music has no real rules. So it's like, yeah, what if I decide to put a weird thing on my snare? Who cares? If it sounds cool, do it. That's not bad. So I want it a little bit fatter. I'm actually going to lower the bottom head just a little bit as well. Alright, good enough. I don't know. I think I forgot some. That's fine. It's just a drum. Oh yeah, there we go. I can go up and choke it a little bit and it gets a cool, like, weird, almost compressed sound. There's a song called Chlorine Baking Skin by Prince that the snare sounds like.
My dad would like that one.
I'm gonna loosen these snares, see if I can get a super, like, mellow.
Nice.
Well, that's pretty much it. That's how I tune these things. Up and down, depending on the style, muffling. Just keep in mind where you started when you started twisting things. Don't be afraid to experiment. And just have fun with it. See what happens. Always ask, what if I, and then do whatever you're asking yourself. It's all about trying to get a good sound, not necessarily a right sound. So, yeah, have fun with that.